Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are fine and doing well at home. I welcome you in the virtual learning system of Pakistan International School Type. This is grade 10. We are studying biology. Today we will start new chapter number 12, coordination and control. Our topic is coordination and control. Okay, let's start. Control and coordination. Student, as you know that our body is made up of organs and organ systems. In our body, organs, each organ and organ system is not independent. Each organ is connected with another organ and it is called coordination. Because each organ is dependent of each other. And in this way, when these organs or organ systems work together, then they will task their, they will complete their task. So it is called coordination. So how you can define coordination? What is coordination? Coordination enables the organisms to behave as a one unit. Or coordination enables the organism to respond in the environment. Is it clear? It is called coordination. For any one task or any one job, one organ or organ system cannot perform, cannot do that work. All organs or organ systems work with each other. So it is called coordination. Now, how this coordination is controlled? Coordination is controlled by the nervous system and endocrine system. So let's see what is coordination, control and coordination. A system of control and coordination is essential in living organisms so that the different body parts can function as a single unit to maintain homeostasis as well as respond to various stimuli. As you told before, in coordination enables the organism to respond in the environment. Is it clear? Now, some examples of coordination. I want to put here example of a player. Cricket player, when he wants to catch a ball, then that time his muscular system, respiratory system, circulatory system, and nervous system, all these systems work together. It is called coordination. How these systems work together. When the player runs to catch a ball, then that time he uses hundred of muscles. Hundred of muscles. Why he uses hundred of muscles? To move his arms and legs. And that same time, nervous system is also working. How nervous system uses information from his sense organs and coordinates these muscles. Is it clear? And due to the coordination, the muscles contract. Due to the coordination, the muscles contract. First, what will happen? First, a boy runs to catch a ball and he will use hundred of muscles to move his arms and legs. And then same time, his nervous system uses it can send information from his sense organs and then coordinates these muscles. And due to this coordination, muscles contract. Due to this coordination, muscles contract. Mean when his nervous system sends signals, then what happens? He will reach there to catch the ball. That time his muscles will contract and uh, also his length of muscles will it will affect on the size of the length of the muscle and also time of the contraction of the muscle. So length of the muscles and time of contraction of muscles will matter here, and it can control by the central nervous system. Is it clear? And in this way, what happens? His muscular system and also he is running. During running, what happens? His breathing system is also affect and heartbeat mean heartbeat rates also change, maybe increase, maybe decrease. So and also it can affect on his blood pressure. So when he is running, to catch a ball, then that time his many systems work together. It is called coordination. Is it clear? And one another example of coordination is writing. Another example of coordination is writing. When we want to write something, then what happens? Our hands and fingers work in collaboration with our muscles, eyes, and thoughts. Suppose I want to write one word, that is control. If I am not here, I am not here, I am thinking about any other thing, then how can I write? When I will not concentrate on my target, on my this main point, then I cannot write properly. Maybe I am writing on the top of the page, bottom of the page. I don't know where my fingers are going. So during writing, our hands, fingers work in collaboration with our muscles and eyes. And suppose if you want to write anything and if your fingers are not moving, your muscles are not contracting, then you cannot write. Then you cannot write. So for writing, these all things mean hands, fingers, muscles, eyes, thoughts are coordinated with each other. Is it clear? It is called coordination. Now we will do types of coordination. There are two types of coordination in organisms. Number one is nervous coordination and number two is chemical coordination. Nervous coordination, it is done by nervous system, and chemical coordination, it is done by endocrine system. Is it clear? Then there are two types of coordination in organisms, nervous coordination and chemical coordination. Here in this topic, we are studying about coordination in organisms. So must we will discuss about plants and animals. Now, what happens in the plants? In plants, which type of coordination? Plants have only chemical coordination, and this chemical coordination in plants done by um, chemical done by chemicals, and these chemicals are in form of the hormones. Means chemical substances are called hormones. Is it clear? Mean in plants only one type of coordination, that is chemical coordination. Chemical coordination, and this chemical coordination is in plants in form of chemical substances, and these substances are hormones. Is it clear? Now Now we will discuss about plants. Which type of coordination in plants? I told you before there are two types of coordination, mean nervous coordination and chemical coordination. And nervous coordination and chemical coordination done by two systems. These systems are endocrine system and also nervous system. And plants have both. Sorry, animals have both coordination. Plant coordination, endocrine coordination, mean chemical coordination, and also nervous coordination. Is it clear? This is about plants and animals. Now we will learn about human nervous system. Human nervous system. First of all, I want to tell you about nervous system. I want to tell you about nervous system. So what is the nervous system? The nervous system is an organ system containing a network of specialized cells called neurons. This is the nervous system. This is the nervous system. The nervous system is an organ system containing a network of specialized cells called neurons. When we talk about human nervous system, then we know that the human nervous system and also other higher animals nervous system is composed of two major components. These major components are central nervous system and peripheral nervous. Is it clear? Mean these are the types of nervous system of human beings and other higher animals. How many types of nervous system? There are two types of nervous system, central nervous system and peripheral nervous. First we talk about central nervous system. Central nervous system, it includes brain and spinal cord. It is clear? Central nervous system includes brain and spinal cord. Now, what about the peripheral nervous system? This is the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system, it includes, it consists of nerves. It consists of nerves and there are different types of nerves. First is somatic nervous system. First it consists of somatic nervous system. Now, what is a somatic nervous system? It is also known as voluntary nervous system and associated with voluntary control of body movement via skeletal muscle. Is it clear? And now I told you peripheral nervous system consists of nerves. So somatic nervous system, it includes uh, two types of nerves. These are cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Is it clear? Peripheral nervous system consists of nerves and in somatic nervous system there are two types of nerves, spinal nerves and cranial nerves. Cranial nerves are those nerves which are arising from the brain and there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves arises from the brain. Is it clear? Now what about the spinal nerves? Spinal nerves are arises from spinal cord and there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves arises from the spinal cord. Is it clear? These are the cranial and spinal nerves. Now, second is peripheral nervous system. One is somatic nervous system. It consists of somatic nervous system and also autonomic nervous system. Second one is autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system, it is also known as involuntary nervous system in which sensory and motor neurons plays an important role. You can see here sensory and motor neurons. Is it sensory and motor? Okay. The peripheral nervous system consists of, or it includes two types of nervous system: somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system, again, it includes two types of nerves: cranial nerves and spinal nerves. And autonomic nervous system, it includes sensory and motor neurons. Is it clear? And again, so my autonomic nervous system subdivided into sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. But next, inshallah, you will do about this one. You will study about the sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Is it clear? Now, all these parts mean nervous system, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. All these components are made up of neurons. All these components are made up of neurons. Now we will learn about neuron. What is a neuron? Neurons are also called nerve cells. So what is a neuron? It is a basic and structural unit of nervous system. What is a neuron? It is a basic and structural unit of nervous system. But question is here, I told you it is a structural unit of nervous system. Our nervous system is made up of only neurons? No. Our nervous system is made up of, our nervous system consists of neurons plus supporting cells. And these supporting cells are called neuroglial cells. These supporting cells are called neuroglial cells. And these supporting cells help neurons. Is it clear? The our nervous system consists of neurons and supporting cells. And these supporting cells are called neuroglial cells. Is it clear? Now, what is a neuron? I will define it. Neurons are also called nerve cells. These are the specialized cells that are able to conduct nerve impulses from receptors to coordinators and from coordinators to effectors. Is it clear? This is the proper definition of neuron. And in this way, these neurons communicate with each other and also with other types of body cells. Is it clear? Now let's see structure of the neuron. Structure of a neuron. You can see here, this is the structure of the neuron. It starts from cell body. And this neuron is also called motor neuron. It is also motor neuron. And there are three main parts of neuron. Number one is dendrite, number two, cell body, and number three, axon. Is it clear? It starts from nucleus. Neurons start from nucleus. In the center of the cell body, greenish color, you can see it is nucleus. In the center of the cell body, it is nucleus. And outside of the nucleus, there is a jelly-like substance. It is called cytoplasm. It is called cytoplasm. Now, what is a cell body? Now, what is a cell body? The place where the nucleus and most of the cytoplasm is located, it is called cell body. This one. You can see this is the nucleus, and outside of the nucleus, it is cytoplasm. and this hole in round shape, this is the cell body. This is the cell body. The place where the nucleus and most of the cytoplasm is located, it is called cell body. And you can see here also some extensions mean going out of this cell body. These are called dendrites. These are called dendrites. So what is a dendrite? Mean different processes extend out from cell body. It is called dendrite and axon. These smaller all are dendrites, and this one, this is long, thin fiber-like structure. It is called axon. These are the extensions mean extending out from the cell body. Now, what is the function of the dendrite? Now, what is the function of the dendrite? Dendrites conduct impulses, impulses mean messages towards cell body, and then what happens? Axon, you can see here, conduct impulses away from the cell body. Is it clear? This is the function of the dendrite and axon. Function of dendrite is conduct nerve impulse towards the cell body. And what is the function of the axon? Conduct nerve impulse away from the cell body. In the center, there is a cell body. Is it clear? Now, what about this axon? You can see here five cells are located on axon. These cells are called Schwann cells. This one, okay? These are the Schwann cells, and Schwann cells are special neuroglial cells, and these cells are located at regular intervals along axons. And in some axons, what happens? Schwann cells secrete a fatty layer that is called myelin sheath. This one, can you see? This is the Schwann cell. In the center of this cell, this one, pink like color, and outside of this Schwann cell, there is a secretion in fatty layer. That fatty layer is called myelin sheath. Is it clear? And between the two myelin sheaths, you can see here gap. There is a gap between two myelin sheaths. It is called node of Ranvier. Node of Ranvier. Is it clear? This is the node of Ranvier, and it is the gap between two myelin sheaths. And also you can say what is the node of Ranvier? The area where is no myelin sheath, that is called node of Ranvier. Is it clear? Now what about myelin sheath? This is the myelin sheath. This myelin sheath works as an insulator. Works as an insulator. Now what is an insulator? You all of you know about insulator and conductors. Here is I want to tell you about electrical wire. All of you have seen electric wire. It is covered by plastic. Electric wire covered by plastic. When you touch that plastic, mean that wire, then you cannot feel current. Why? Because current cannot pass through the plastic. Plastic works as an insulator. And how you can define insulator? Insulators doesn't allow, doesn't allow or doesn't conduct current. So like electrical wire, myelin sheath also here works as an insulator, and myelin sheath doesn't conduct current. Now, what is a current? Which type of current is here? That current is in form of nerve impulse. That current is in form of nerve impulse. So myelin sheath doesn't conduct nerve impulse. So what happens when I told you before? Nerve axon conduct nerve impulse away from the cell body. Now what happens? When nerve impulse moving from here, then it can jump. It can jump from one node to another node over the areas of the myelin sheath. Is it clear? And in this way, it can move quickly. It can move quickly. And this jumping impulse or nerve impulses, a jumping impulse, it is called saltatory impulses. Called saltatory impulses. So in this way, myelin sheath increase the speed of the nerve impulse. Is it clear? Now let's see main types of main parts of neurons. I told you before there are three main parts of neuron: dendrite, cell body, and axon. Dendrite, branch-like structure and branch end of the cell body that extends out from the cell, and it provides a large surface area to receive nervous information. And cell body, the place where the nucleus and most of the cytoplasm is located, that part of a neuron is called cell body. And axon, also it is like a dendrite, but it is long, thin fiber, and it extends out from the cell body, and it carries nerve impulse away from the cell, away from the one neuron to another. Okay. Now here in this structure, you will learn about parts of neurons with functions in detail. And also it starts from the cell body. And I told you before, cell body, it consists of nucleus and cytoplasm. So what is the function of the cell body? It organizes and keeps the cell functioning. And some extends out from the cell body. These extensions, these thin fiber-like structure are called dendrites and axons. You can see here dendrites. And what is the function of the dendrites? Receive signals from other cells. Receive signals from other cells mean conduct nerve impulse from other cells to the cell body. Is it clear? Now what about the nucleus? Nucleus is located in the center of the cell. And you can say nucleus is the brain of the whole cell. Nucleus is the brain of the whole cell because it can control all of the activities of the cell. Mean all of the activities of the cell of the whole entire neuron controlled by the nucleus. Is it clear? And this cell body is surrounded by a membrane. That membrane is called cell membrane. That membrane is called cell membrane. This one. Okay. This is the cell body, and this cell body is surrounded by a membrane. That membrane is called cell membrane. And what is the function of the cell membrane? It protects the cell. Is it clear? Now next is axon. Next is axon. Now what is the function of the axon? It conducts nerve impulse away from the cell body. Means transfers nerve impulse in form of signal to other cells. Is it clear? And next here you can see on the axon there are uh, different Schwann cells are located at regular intervals, and these Schwann cells are called special neuroglial cells. And these Schwann cells secrete a fatty layer. That fatty layer is called myelin sheath. It is clear. And what is the function of the myelin sheath? Myelin sheath works as an insulator, and it can increase the speed of the signal. Speed of the signal means increase the speed of the nerve impulse. And between two myelin sheaths, it's yellowish color. You can see node of Ranvier. Node of Ranvier. Then you can say the gap between the two myelin sheaths is called node of Ranvier. Is it clear? And last one is axon terminus. Last one is axon terminus. Now what happens when nerve impulse move away from the cell body, then it can move in jump. And how it can jump? It can jump from one node to another node over the myelin sheath. And this myelin sheath, due to this jumping, myelin sheath increase the speed of the signal, and this jumping moment of nerve impulse, it is called saltatory impulses. Called saltatory impulses. So by myelin sheath, the speed of the signals will be increased. Is it clear? On the basis of their functions, on the basis of their functions, I told you before, this is the main neuron, and it is also called motor neuron. It has different parts, and each part has different function. So on the basis of their function, neurons are of three types. But inshallah, these three types we will do in next lecture. I hope you will understand it and you will learn it. Take care. Allah Hafiz.